This is the Transformers Power of the Primes Voyager class Starscream. I have to get used to that Power of the Primes thing. And it is part of the first wave of the Voyager class figures for the latest incarnation of Generations figures, the Power of the Primes. Put him off to the side. Here is a look at the packaging. Interesting artwork, very, very nice. Very similar to Titans Return and Combiner Wars, Power of the Primes right there. And they tell you that the new Headmasters or Titan Masters are Primes, and they do something, they power them up. And the Power of the Primes are figures that are either Combiner Wars figures or Titans Return figures that have that new Power of the Primes feature onto them. And looking at Starscream, Starscream is a very popular character. It's like he's the second most popular, I think, in the Decepticons. It's Megatron, Starscream. Then it's like she's like the Bumblebee of the Decepticons. Like, if you have to have just 4 Transformers on either side, you'd have Optimus and Megatron. You've got Bumblebee and Starscream. Those are the top 4 most popular ones, I think. So we get Starscream, very, very chunky. I saw pictures of him on the internet and I was like, dude, it is not gonna work. And I had low expectations, and with those low expectations, I didn't imagine how I could still be disappointed with this figure. It is a total train wreck. I'm sorry, Hasbro and maybe Takara Tomy have done it again. They've overdone it. They've overthought this figure, and it has some merit, it has some good qualities, but we'll talk about that later. So, card. It looks so cool in the artwork. I don't understand what happened to the toy. Quintus Starscream. So, what's that? His zodiac sign? I have no idea. Or gives life to an army of his own. Oh, that's the thing. Which is this, and this is, I guess, this is that ability, the Quintus Starscream, if he becomes a Prime or whatever. Gives life to an army of his own. Il doni vita a se proprie armi. Crea su proprio ejército. Da vida a su proprio ejército. Anyway, so this is it. So you can, it's like the sweeps. If you plug it into his weapon, he can, I suppose he can create an army of his own. So, plug that. Okay, so that's that. Okay, on to, oh wait, last thing. He's got a set of instructions. Very, very cool, very clear instructions. So, cheers. Well done, Hasbro. Okay, put that away. Let's straighten him up. He's a very, very chunky Starscream. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the whole engineering thought process, if there ever was, for this figure was, they designed him to be a Combiner Wars figure, like a torso. They designed a torso first, with this in mind, I guess. And then they thought, maybe we can design the robot based on the torso we have. So they moved the parts around. They created a very chunky monkey robot, small head, lots of mass, a lot of he gained a lot. Probably worked out so much during the off season, and then he gained a lot. He's got these big thunderous the thunderous legs. It looks like body armor, like the Cyclone Warriors from Macross Robotech. So big ass legs and feet, and yeah. And then he's got these arms that are just huge, then huge blasters. Let me get rid of these so you can appreciate it better. So we can put the smaller blast. I think the null rays would look better this way. So it's still, the arms are like super chunky. Shoulders, thighs, torso is fine. The wings, I suppose, okay. He's got these things, signature Seeker or Starscream appendage or something like that. The head sculpt looks okay. It's a little bit small, but they did that because of transformation. It needs to fit in or something like that. But he's got huge Popeye arms and feet. I don't know. We just need Bluto, and he'd be great. So yeah, that's what I think. And then they designed the jet mode after, so it's like as an afterthought. So okay. So here is his good old buddy Megatron. The scale is okay. Megatron should be just a tad bit bigger like that, but it's fine. So this is Titans Return Megatron, and you look at them both. He's comparable in mass to Megatron. So And speaking of the older generations Chugger Starscream, I was very, very happy with this mold. I mean, I wish they had just made this one bigger. I don't have the leader class Starscream anymore. I sold it. But that one's really Jetfire, and the Seekers were just an afterthought. So okay, but this mold, one of my favorite generations or classics Henkei mold. This is the one, and they retired it, and I just wish they had made it very similar to that, because this evoked a lot of G1 design and a lot of G1 aesthetics to it. So okay, so here he is, very chunky monkey. He's got some articulation, as you can see. Ratchets here and there, because he is they're trying to make him a Combiner War torso, so you get that. And this one just loves to untab itself, the knee, and just like that, it just loves to untab itself. This one, it popped loose in the box, so it's gonna pop off every single time we transform it. So there's a lot of kibble at the back, but that's fine. It's covered up in robot mode. He's very stable. He's like all ready for battle. So it kind of reminds me of like a kid's toy, like the those small heroes, not galactic heroes, but robot heroes or something like that, or play school heroes or something like that, because of his disproportioned Popeye limbs. So yeah, okay, so let's get him into his jet mode, which is, again, the transformation is just crazy. Okay, these also double as feet when he in combined mode, I suppose. So we'll do that. I have the aerial bots. I can combine them for you, but we'll do that last. So let's get him into his jet mode. To do that, again, the transformation is very clumsy. It wasn't pleasant to transform this guy. Absolutely not. I hated the transformation, every step of it. So, okay, one thing you want to do is rotate this wing. So that's pretty good, okay? And then when you do rotate the head, okay? And then the arms just kind of stay there, okay? Just give some room for the legs to move. Okay, what you want to do is unpeg these, which you can easily do when you're trying to pose him. The feet don't do anything. This is combined mode, so they just stay there, which is ridiculous. There should have been a way to just fold it back, but it doesn't. So it collapses a lot, just like Combiner Wars figures, so that's great. And then they tab in onto the backpack. So if you can do that, then you're okay, just like that. Then the instruction says to tab the arms first. There, and it is a pain to tab them in. I think it's a quality issue, maybe just on my figure. I'm sure your figure is going to be fine. And as you can see, or maybe you should straighten up first, okay. And then you can see that tab pegging into that hole. So it's sort of like a it's like you're trying to fit it on the side and on top at the same time. It's like a juggling act that you got to do. So there you go. It's already popped off. So, and at the same time, you got to fold the wings properly. So come on, it's ridiculously difficult to transform, but the step is very, very simple, and that's what's frustrating about it. It's a simple step, and it's just not working, at least on this copy of the figure. Maybe they'll do a run and change where it's better. So it doesn't tab in as nicely. It just so chunky. And I understood why it was so chunky, because it was a great torso. That's probably one of the good things about this figure. It's a great torso. So yeah, okay, and the feet just stay there. As you can see, so much clunk. Okay, this one, just rotate these like that. And you gotta go and tab those things onto those. So do that, and then they tab in these panels. They tab in onto the shoulder pads right there. So okay, that clicks very nicely. But as you can see, this is jet mode. Flaps and landing gear, of course. Landing gear is just ridiculous. You don't put the landing gear underneath the radar. It has to. Everything about it is just awkward, and incoherent. And again, as I said, it just won't tab in. It's too chunky to tab in, and it's just bloody ridiculous. Oh. Okay, let's just leave it at that. So that's the jet mode. And it's so lopsided. It's obviously the feet are too big. And the instructions say you got to put the extra feet as like pontoons or balancers, like training wheels or something like that. And that will make it all right. It doesn't. It's as ridiculous as without it. Or, and these are supposed to be like here, just to sort of cover the shoulders and make the shoulders part of the silhouette, which doesn't do anything. The colors are great. The stickers, I kind of like the stickers. I wish they were tempos, but they're trying to do that whole G1 thing, and it's just not working with the stickers. I'm sorry. Repro labels are probably going to come up with something better for this, but yeah, it's an awkward mess, and yeah. Okay, now on to combine mode. Get rid of these, get rid of this, get rid of this. So it's as though you're going to transform him back into his robot mode. So what you do is you want to do this, and then you want to untab these. Oh my, gulay. Sorry, gulay is Filipino for vegetables. Okay, so that's what you want to do, and then you want to untab these. And fold that. Then what you want to do is just rotate them off to the side like that. And these are going to be the chest, and these are going to be the thighs. Okay, that's what you want to do. You want to untab these, open these side panels, rotate the fists like that. Then what you want to do is move up the panel so it covers that hole, and then tabs onto the fists where the fists were, so like that. Okay, and then so I guess, okay, this is the front part, so those will form the thighs. Okay, and here's the hard part, one of the harder parts for me. The instruction says to just unfold this panel right here, and to do that you have to stick your fingernail in there somewhere, and it's a nail breaker. Oh my god, it's just very difficult to do so. I was able to do it by exerting pressure here and here and just sort of opening it, but I found out the best way to do it is just flip down the head, and you sort of push that crown underneath there. You push it and it sort of pops the chest out, and there you go. That's the Combiner War head. Okay, all right, just open this and do this. Just leave it there for the moment and rotate the head. Okay, that's where he'll be facing. Okay, then you do the let's do the legs first. So you sort of fold the legs down in a diagonal position as though you were transforming the jet mode again, and then these tabs, that tabs into that slot right there to combine the legs and form the shoulders and upper torso. Now yeah, there we go. Just slide in like that. Okay, this one will tab in right here, and then the neck piece is gonna sort of tab in right there, and there's a lot of hollow spaces to be filled out, so you do this, and then you do that. Fold down these foot pieces to free up the shoulder, and it just says like that. The instructions just say, yeah, that's it. So I tend to do it this way. I mean, it looks like Starscream's chest, as you can see. So yeah, I think that's okay. Just to give it a better, smoother look to it. So that is the combined. Oh, sorry, my bad. You gotta fold the, yeah, there we go, the head in and do that. So let's not tab it in all the way in, because it's a pain to get rid of it. Okay, so that's it. Luckily I do have the aerial bot, so let's see how he would look with these new things. Okay, so you got skydive and air raid right there ready to go, And the instructions say to put the guns here off on the back. I don't know why they want it in this position. And that's it. That's the position. I honestly would like the guns like this, but let's do what the instructions say. Okay. See if the what do you know? Still work. Okay, so those are the legs. Okay, let me raise the tripod a bit. Back up. Okay. All right. Looking okay. And then the arms. Let me see if I can put Firefly and Slingshot. Okay. I'm using the Aerobots for obvious reasons because they're jets, and Starscream is a jet. So there we go. And there you go. Starscream in combined mode, and as I said, that's his best mode, the torso. And I think the designers were working from this, that maybe, I don't know, basing off the Machinima cartoon or whatever, they wanted Starscream big and whatnot and whatever, so they designed him, I think, as a torso first, then as a robot, then as a jet. The head has nice articulation though. It can look up and mainly because of transformation. But that's him. He stands a good 11.5 inches tall, and as you can see, and it looks okay, but it's not great. My advice is, my final verdict for the figure, it's a hot mess. It's just really not a great toy. Don't buy it immediately unless you are in dire need of a Starscream. You wait for it to go on clearance, wait for the Takara Tomy version. I'm sure it's going to come with other deluxe class figures, as I said, or something like that. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it'll become as a single. It'll probably have better colors, but honestly, it's not worth the retail price as it is right now. Even a very low retail price, I would discourage you from getting it right away. We'll just wait a couple months, it'll go on clearance, and then you can go get it. So it's gonna get it was very frustrating. The robot mode was so chunky, so ugly that it looked cute. You know how it is, like when my wife was telling me, one of the first dogs she got as a kid was a pug. It looked so ugly that it looked so cute. So that's how I feel about the Starscream. It's like an ugly toy, but it kind of looks cute in some ways, but it should get a 6 out of 10 for me. I don't know. This is as good as it gets. I'm sorry, Hasbro. I really tried. I lowered my expectations. There you go. Hope you've enjoyed this little video review. This has been the Transformers Power of the Primes Voyager class Starscream. Thanks for watching.